In this tutorial, I'm going to go through the complete chromatic exercise, ascending and descending, and then I'm going to show you a few added things you can do with it to challenge yourself, or in some ways it might make it easier, but we'll get to that. Okay, so we start with, I'm going to alternate, remember, index, middle with the right hand while doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's ascending. When I get to the first string, 4th fret, I'm going to turn around there and then come back down descending. So I'm going to play this top note 2 times in a row. Once for the way up, ascending, and then back again for the start of descending. Okay, a few rattles in there. I'll try to make sure it doesn't rattle when I'm demonstrating it here. Okay, here we go. From the beginning, I'll count in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you're alternating. Index, middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then first string 1, 2, 3, 4. Then descending. Okay, we'll do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle. And then descending. Button is rattling against the guitar also. Okay, so it's okay. Sometimes you're going to have rattles and buzzes. That's fine. I'm not really warmed up right now, so that's my excuse. Okay, now I'm going to give you a few other things to do to further develop your right hand. So we've been doing index, middle, index, middle. Another common way of alternating is index, ring, and leaving out that middle finger altogether. And the advantage of that is that for most people's hands, as you can see, the middle finger is much longer than your index finger, right? Whereas if you take out the middle finger, the index and the ring are almost the same length. So you can play a little more straight on with the right hand, and you don't have to lean back as much so that you don't get caught on that middle finger, especially if you're using rest stroke like I like to do. So this time we're going to try doing index, ring, index, ring. You want to just keep that middle finger kind of relaxed and out of the way. You don't want to point it out because that creates tension. So you want to just leave it relaxed, but you lift it up a little bit so it doesn't hit the string. So I'm doing index, ring, ring. Okay? The left hand will be the same. So you can try that, and you can practice doing open strings first. Index, ring, etc. So we're going to do the chromatic exercise ascending and descending now with index, ring, instead of index, middle. This is just another thing to try. See if you like it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Index, ring, index, ring, index, ring, index, ring. Some people find this to be a much faster way of doing it. Because those fingers are further apart on the right hand, they do utilize more independent muscle groups from one another. Okay, you can experiment with that. Then the next thing I want you to try and experiment with this week using the chromatic exercise is to play it in some different positions. We've been playing it in what's called first position, meaning first finger starts in the first fret. Every other finger lines up in the subsequent frets. That's first position, right? If I were to do second position, I would just start in that second fret with the first finger and play the same pattern, but now doing frets 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. What you'll notice as you play in these higher positions, remember higher because the sound is getting higher and the fret numbers are getting higher, obviously, so we call this higher up the neck. The fret wires or frets are smaller. They're closer together as you go up. So when you look at the guitar, obviously this fret, the 12th fret, is much narrower than the first fret. What that means is as you play higher up the neck, you don't have to reach as far to play those individual notes. So if you have smaller hands or fingers, you might find it more comfortable to play in fifth position, for example, rather than in first position where you're having to stretch a lot more. And that's fine. You can practice this in any position. One other thing you'll notice though is that when you do play in the higher position, I don't know if you can see this very well from this angle, but the strings are going to be further off the fretboard. That's called the action. So as you go from the first fret where the string is very low to the 12th fret where the string is much higher off the neck, you do have to press down more to get a sound. So there's a little bit of a trade-off, but that's the nature of any fretted instrument. The strings do get higher off the neck as you go up the fretboard. That'll be true on banjo, on mandolin, on guitar, on fretted bass guitar, etc. Okay, so let's try this in fifth position. So I'm going to start on the 5th fret. Most of you are going to have a position marker there, a dot. I've got one on 5th, 7th, and 12th frets and 15th fret way up there. But we're going to do 5th position, so that's going to be your starting note, which is an A. It's going to be the same sound as your 5th string open. Same pitch. All right, here we go. 5th position, ascending and descending. I'm going to go back to index middle right now. You may do it index middle or index ring if you like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Way a little bit. One more time, 5th position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you may practice this a lot of different ways, and when you play it for me on the midterm, you may play it in 1st position or 2nd position or 5th position or 9th position, whatever's comfortable. You may also use index and middle, or you may use index ring, so you have some choices.